Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We haven't been telling people our names.
No, I always say my name. Hi, this is John Russell Kring.
Okay, my name's Tracy.
Why don't you go with Tracy Nicole Kring?
Well,
Are you ashamed of the last name?
I'm just going to catch everybody up on what the hell we're doing here.
Okay.
This is a podcast.
Yes.
You remember that movie, Pump Up the Volume? Christian Slater.
Of course.
Talk Hard.
Yeah.
If you actually get curious and want to go watch that movie because I just mentioned it, you're kind of screwed because of music rights. That movie is not ever going to be streaming. Never.
No, definitely not. It has a ton of songs in it, but they didn't have the rights to all of the things that ended up. Yes. Yeah.
Now in your contracts, it's like galactic.
Yeah.
You know, people are putting like terminology in there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not just worldwide. It's like planet-wide. It's like in the known universe.
Yes, exactly. And soon in the unknown universe, there will be dimensional contracts.
One day we might be teleporting from one place to another and want to watch like an old episode of Friends.
Well, that's a whole Rick and Morty.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. In that movie, Happy Harry Hardon.
Yes, Happy Harry Hardon
has this pirated show that he's doing that gets all the kids riled up and makes them want to be individuals. Ah!
God, what a nightmare.
At the end, remember, he's like, take over the airwaves, do this. And I feel like if Happy Harry Hardon could flash forward to podcasts, he would really feel like his dream came true. In this podcast, we're going to be talking with our mouths full.
That would have been a better name for the podcast, Talking with Our Mouths Full.
Really? My name's Tracy. Your name is John.
Are we back to the opening?
This is a podcast about being married, making films, and watching films.
That's right. Watched a film last night, as a matter of fact.
We did.
It was called Consecration. I wouldn't say that this was an anxiety-inducing movie.
No.
It had a lot of elements
of very slow.
Yeah, it had a lot of elements of very cool stuff, like scary nuns, Scotland.
Look.
Demons.
This girl's brother dies.
Don't spoil it.
And she goes to Ireland.
She goes to Scotland.
Same place.
I just said no. It is not the same place.
In my mind, it's the same place.
Okay.
They all fought against England.
That's right.
In Braveheart. That's really the only reason I know about this history.
It's my island.
Yeah, Ireland's my island. And that was probably a very appropriated little accent I just did.
I had my mouth full of tomato and eggs.
Okay. That's another thing. We're having your famous cheesy omelet.
It's not a very good one today.
I disagree. I think it's lovely, and you put bean sprouts in it.
I did.
Consecration. It had moments where I was kind of bored and tuned out, but I came back for when things got more intense.
It stars that actress who was the young Jodie Foster
in
Contact, which is a much better movie. Great movie. Yeah, love Contact. And she was British in this, and I thought she did a really believable British accent.
I'll say it's passable. Mm-hmm. It was passable. It was not scary.
That's the thing. You have to be scary. There has to be an element of at least creep factor or giving you the shivers or the shudders, as they say. And it didn't really do that.
There's a scene where the priest, and I don't know. It doesn't have to be a horror movie. You just see a priest standing there, and he's creepy. The priest is standing there, and all the nuns are laying on the ground in their white robes, face down with their arms out, like crosses, making crosses on the ground.
Right.
And that was creepy.
That image was creepy.
And the one time that got even creepier was when the nun raised her head and looked up at the camera. And I was like, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I know. It was weird because the way her head looked up, it was almost like her head wasn't supposed to do that.
It felt inverted. That was a good shot.
Yeah, it had some good shots. It had some good visuals. And it had a really interesting story. It just didn't actually deliver any sort of feeling of being scary.
I feel like that's a movie you could have watched with your teenage kid.
So that happened. And then today, I'm supposed to be in a board meeting for this film festival called the Festival of Cinema. Last board meeting, we talked about that they didn't have very many feature films that had submitted, so they were looking for more feature films. What's interesting about film festivals is that we have come up basically in the kind of the entirety of the digital film movement. You know, we started about 20 years ago.
I remember the Canon XL1 coming to Electronics Express, and it was like the first prosumer.
It is the least ergonomic camera there is.
Well, and people kind of complain now about cameras not having autofocus, and that one,
Oh my God.
the autofocus was just trash.
Oh, it's so bad. I mean, I remember the first time I saw the image. It was our first feature film, which was called Lender's Morgan. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. It was. I mean, now it doesn't seem that way,
Right.
But at the time, it really felt like cinema. You know, compared to what other
Home movies.
yeah, exactly what other cameras were delivering. Mm-hmm. And we've probably done hundreds of film festivals, over the years. And I just think that they are, they're great fun. And it's a great ego boost. It really makes you feel like a filmmaker.
Well, it's good for promotion.
But is it?
Yeah.
But is it? Is it really good for promotion?
You
Like,
can put
what
a
do you
post
promote?
out.
Okay, yes, you have something to talk about.
Yeah. It gives you something to say. Like, look, our film is in this festival.
Having your film in front of people in an audience, having their reaction to that film is a great joy. One of the best film festivals I ever did was called the Kakalaki Film Festival.
Oh,
and it was
you would put that as one of
my top. Yeah, that's where I met Ray McKinnon.
Our first feature,
right,
is the one that got into that, Lender's Morgan.
Right, and Ray McKinnon, Deadwood, Rectify, The Blind Side. He's the preacher in Deadwood. Apollo 13. He's got a really nice part in that.
He was married to Lisa Blount.
Right,
and evidently she had a very hard time. She was injured.
Lisa Blount has like a background in horror.
Mm-hmm. And isn't she the mom in Great Balls of Fire?
Yes.
And she's in Prince of Darkness.
Yes, Prince of Darkness. That's
love her.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but I love it.
Are you kidding me?
It's not a good. Okay. That movie has like the dregs of television actors in it.
Can I say what I think about?
Sure, feel free, of course.
I hate them.
Okay.
I hate them. I hate going to them. I enjoy having my film recognized as watchable or as having some sort of merit.
What was the one we went to where they put us up at the hotel?
The Snowtown Film Festival,
oh,
right?
Yeah, no. That was not the one I was talking about.
No, the Adirondack.
Adirondack Film Festival. No, I think it is still around. And that was also one of the top film festivals.
Well, because they put you up.
Yes.
And there was like a pretty good continental breakfast in the morning.
It was a nice ass room, man. You were staying in like one of those really cool old, like, 8 or 9 story, Eisenhower type motel. Yeah, it was amazing.
Not motel, hotel.
Hotel, yes.
Motel has 1 floor.
I know. I'm aware.
I'm not a person who enjoys networking. There was a film festival. What was it? It was in Virginia. We won the award, the little apple, the blown glass apple.
We still have the glass apple. Yes.
What was that one called? We had 2 feature films at this point, and both of them got into the festival. The Appalachian Film Festival. Out of the 7 features, we were 2 of them.
Yes.
D.B. Sweeney was there.
Yes.
And D.B. Sweeney...
Well, it was in Marshall.
Yeah, it was in Marshall. We are Marshall.
Yeah, we are Marshall, because they had filmed that movie there. And D.B. Sweeney had, I believe, been in that movie.
Yeah. D.B. Sweeney was in The Cutting Edge, which was like a movie that my mother and I loved.
Oh, I remember that guy.
And so I got a picture with him and sent it to my mom, which made her very happy.
That's adorable.
And I Toe pick.
Yeah.
I was also in the line, like buffet food, and I heard other people around me talking about our movie, which I really love hearing. Like, I love getting movie reviews, whether they're good or bad. I don't care.
I agree.
But hearing it firsthand from people, I thought it was so funny that they were talking about my movie, and I'm just sitting there like, getting meatballs and gravy on my plate while they're like, God, did you see that movie? Linders Morgan? Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? Yeah, it was really beautiful. Whatever.
There was a little bit of a controversy because our sister-in-law, Angie, was in the bathroom, and she overheard people bitching about the fact that we had 2 movies in the festival. And that they were
The fix was in.
The fix was in! Exactly!
The fix was in. I think probably because maybe just like your film festival, they were lacking feature film submissions.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, guys, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not going to say features are more difficult to make than shorts. I'm really not. I feel like telling a great short story is a talent that I personally do not have.
I suck at short film.
Yeah, short films are just
not editing them, but making them.
It's really, really tough because a short is a setup and a punchline.
You have to develop like one thing in a short film, and we're too schizo for that.
I think you're more likely if you had 10 features and you had 10 shorts. It would be more likely that you would get more enjoyment out of those 10 features. It would be more likely that the shorts would be bad.
Okay.
One of the things that a feature has going for it is that you could sort of settle in and accept its flaws.
Well, you have more time to get worn down by the flaws.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like there may be an actor in it that you're like, oh, I'm not that crazy about that actor, or I'm not crazy about that performance. And if that performance was in a short film and you only have 20 minutes, then that's going to stick out so much further.
There's nowhere to hide.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like having scars in a cake. You can put, if you keep putting on frosting,
what?
Like scars, like little
cakes still have scars.
Yeah, if they have like little parts of them that are like ripped up and stuff. What would you call them if they're not scars?
I just don't think you should assign a word like scars to something that's edible. That's really weird.
Well, and features don't necessarily have to be more expensive. I mean, our most successful feature only cost $1,000 to make.
It really cost $800, and everybody worked for nothing.
Yeah, everybody worked for nothing, and we worked, and boy, that was hard.
We worked so hard
because we had to stay up all night to shoot.
So the movie is Little by Peep. It's actually out in its second round of distribution.
Big love to Anna Shields, who has gone on to a very successful writing and horror movie career.
Thanks to our sponsor, Movie Mode Merch, the graphic t-shirt store to outfit you for your next film set. Be the person wearing the t-shirt everyone asks, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Cast and crew alike love these inside jokes and filmmaking-inspired designs. Check them out on Insta at Movie Mode Merch.
One more thing about the film festival thing. So they were giving out awards, and since we did have 2 out of 7 feature films up for award, I thought our chances were pretty good of getting an award.
Right.
And there were these adorable little blown glass apples.
Right.
That were the trophy. There was a blue one, a yellow one, a green one, and a red one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, God, the red one is so attractive. right? And I was like, why would you have a blue apple? Or the yellow one and the green one
But it
made
was third
sense.
place, babe.
But I manifested third place for us because
Why?
of my love of that red apple. So that's why you didn't get first. I think first was the see-through yellow apple.
Right.
And in retrospect, it was pretty cute. I would love to have a whole set of them, but I don't know if that festival's around anymore. Maybe.
I don't know. I think going out and making films just so you can try to win those 2 apples is probably a bad idea.
You think that's a bad investment of my time?
Yeah, I think so.
Darn. Okay, so Little By Peep actually has an interesting story, in my opinion.
Okay.
Maybe other people won't think so. So, Anna Shields had worked with someone that we knew, Jack Schuyler. He had directed her in
Infested
Haunted
Ship.
Yeah, Infested Ship.
Yeah, which is very cool. Basically, it's like a horror movie inside like a battleship.
Yeah.
Like
they had access
like a
to
haunted battleship.
Yeah, they had access to a battleship that they like used.
And they did did the entire movie inside it, and it was a really cool idea.
We were casting, and Anna ended up in Albany. She was going to school in Troy. Was it Russell Sage?
Yeah, I think it is Russell Sage.
Is it Russell Sage?
Yeah, it is Russell Sage.
She was going to school there in upstate New York, and we were casting for a lead in one part of our 3-part anthology
That's
film.
not what happened.
Shit.
That's not what happened.
She didn't work in that first?
No,
Yeah, she did.
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
What happened was we had our lead that was all set up for that story.
Oh, Lord. You're right.
And we
had cast it.
Kate, it was Kate Kenny, who we love. Kate had something like an emergency come up.
Yeah, it was like some family trouble.
It was like family trauma, and she could not...
trauma, troubles.
Well, family troubles, family trauma, whatever the family thing was. It was troubles that caused trauma that caused troubles. These 2 things go together, folks.
So she called up and said, oh, God,
the
that's
day,
horrible.
2 days before we were supposed to shoot.
It was literally days.
Because we are going to shoot in one of the best locations.
A beautiful, like, renovated mansion.
Oh, yeah.
In Tivoli, New York.
An Italian mansion.
Yeah, and the Swedish guy fixed it all up meticulously. You just, had it decorated beautifully.
It was like shooting in a museum.
Yeah, we were going for that whole gothic horror vibe.
Right.
For this particular story of the anthology. We call up our buddy, James Mentali.
Yes.
And he ran the Albany Talent for
right.
many years. And he said, well, I've got a lot of actors, why don't you come to this mixer and see if you meet anybody that might work. Mm-hmm. So you go to the mixer, you come home, and you go, I need you to meet this girl.
Right.
I met this girl, her name's Anna Shields, and she ninja'd my brain.
Mm-hmm.
She's like beautiful.
She's beautiful, she's charming, she's funny.
She's smart.
She's self-deprecating.
She knows actually like film.
Yeah.
Like she knows like 70s and 80s films. And
yes.
she's just so freaking cool.
Yes.
That I'm afraid that she's just ninja'd me and maybe she's just cute.
Right.
And I'm exaggerating what her actual talent level is.
Right.
I'm not a person who gets jealous.
Right.
Like, I think some women, you would have come home and said that and you would have been sleeping on the couch.
Something you need to understand also to directors out there and to the wives of directors is that on some level, you fall in love with all of your actors. I mean, male and female. If someone is a lead and someone is helping you make your dreams happen and you're working very, very close to them, you're going to fall in love with them on some level. Yeah.
I was like, okay, great. Let's meet her. We went to a little coffee shop in Troy near the college.
Tomorrow, you have to start.
Tomorrow.
You're starting tomorrow.
It was maybe a few days.
No, it was tomorrow.
Really?
Yes.
God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It happens. So she did some, readings.
Yep.
We handed her like the script and we left. And you said, so? And I said, yeah, she ninja'd my brain too.
Right.
We loved her.
And she has continued to ninja brains ever since.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
amazing.
she has like 3 films on Shudder that she wrote and directed.
And they're doing really well.
Yeah.
Back to the Little by Peep. We worked with her on that. You know, we stayed close. She called up Jon one day and wanted to kind of like talk to him about an idea for a movie that she had had. She had written, I don't know, some of a script at least. He read it, and I remember him reading it and just saying, "What is she doing? Like, this is not
It's not her. It's just not. It's not her. I mean, she obviously has always had a love of the horror genre, which is fine.
Well, you gave her great advice. You were like, look, you know, this is a whatever movie that you're working on. What you should do is write your life. Whenever you tell us stories about what's going on in your life, who you're dating, you know, what you're into, that's wildly entertaining.
The craziness of
just she was just getting herself into all kinds of situations that were hilarious. She actually took the notes.
She did.
Right?
3 weeks later.
She comes back and hands us a script.
Yes.
And it's great.
We love it.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it. We had like a maybe 1 or 2 rewrite sesh.
Yeah.
Where we
just punched it up a little
helped her
bit.
punch up some
add
stuff.
some comedy and
gave her some
more.
notes.
Right.
We wanted to shoot the film at a certain period, but she had to work around shooting the Song of Sway Lake.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Remember that one with the Culkin?
Yeah. Kieran Culkin. Yeah, that's by Ari Gold.
Yeah, Ari Gold.
Yeah, who is a very, very, very cool filmmaker.
So she was doing that and then immediately was going to leave that and come, but she only had like 8 days to shoot Little by Peep.
Right.
And that's what we did.
Is that why it was so short?
Yeah, there was something that was happening after that too. And it was just like, holy crap, we have to like cram this in.
I remember we used to live in this walk up in Albany. And I remember probably the 6th or 7th day.
Oh, it was probably the 5th day.
We were walking up the stairs and I fell asleep on the stairs.
Well, no, I have like a picture of both of you climbing the stairs. And she's like half our age, and she's like literally crawling up the stairs, and you were crawling behind her, and I'm crawling behind you taking a picture because we were so tired. It was about Little by Peep is about a girl who works in a porn store, and we had a friend, Shell, who worked at a porn store in Schenectady.
Right, and she would allow us to shoot there all night. We just had to be out of there by like 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was like 10 to 6.
10 to 6.
Yeah,
that we could shoot inside the porn store. I mean, that's a set.
Right.
That's a big dollar set.
Right.
Toys.
It was a really interesting place, too, because you think of a porn store as kind of dark and dank and everything.
No. And it's like a supermarket.
This was like a CVS.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like CVS with like, lots of dildos.
But like with the video machines in the back.
Right.
Remember? People would walk by all the time.
Everything was like white and bright.
We would get interrupted. Our takes would get interrupted by Shell having to give people tokens for the machines.
Yeah. And
gross. I was just like,
ew.
What are these guys like have no shame?
Yeah, no shame.
No shame.
No shame whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. Well, it had 15 million AVOD views.
Okay, so it's gone insane. You used to have this real problem.
Yeah, I did.
Where you would get separation anxiety.
Yeah.
At the end of a movie, and you would kind of go nuts.
I would get a little upset if people didn't feel as sort of passionately about like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, and yeah.
You wanted
I had to get over that.
You wanted the breakup at the airport.
I did. I wanted that. Yeah, I wanted Love Actually at the end, and it didn't happen.
When it wouldn't happen, we were drinking I think we were drinking like orange soda with whipped vodka.
Yeah.
And you had a little too much maybe, and what was like a emotional sesh turned into like a knockdown, drag out fight between you and Anna.
It was not good. It was not good, and I've always regretted that. And someday, when I'm with Anna, I will apologize for that because
you can right now.
Yeah, I apologize, Anna. I was being just a little bit of a baby.
You were being a baby back bitch.
Baby back bitch. Yeah, that was me. That was me. But
we finished the movie, and honestly,
I'm super proud of that movie. That movie is so weird.
It just connects with people. It's fun. It's culty. The way we made it, it's kind of culty.
It had a good film festival run. It's had good distribution. I mean, you don't know what's going to connect with people. You have no idea.
I'm just really happy for Anna continuing.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
One of the first things you asked me was how I felt today. And one of the things, because today's Monday.
Yes.
Even though we do not work a 9-to-5 job.
No.
Monday through Friday.
No.
And I've never really had the feeling of like dreading Monday.
Right.
There's something to me about waking up in the morning on Monday that feels like there's a hope to it. There's an adventure to it that you feel like, what is this week going to bring me? And there's kind of like, often we will, because, we're freelancers, we're filmmakers, we don't have normal hours. We work all day long, every day.
Right.
There's a feeling to being lazy on Sunday that's enjoyable, to pursue something that is like just going to be relaxing and make you happy on Sunday. Sometimes it's that way. Like, sometimes Sundays are hell.
Well, yeah, and then like Saturday we worked really, really hard this week.
Did we? It's just I question sometimes when you say we worked hard because I'm like,
well, no,
your version of working hard.
We're not digging ditches, okay? No. I know that, okay. We are very, very blessed people. I think that's really interesting about Mondays. It's one of the days of the week that I just kind of go, oh yeah, it's Monday.
It's a new start, and I always wonder on Monday, what is coming.
I love it.
What are we going to get into, and where are we going to be on Friday?
Well, I think that's a great place to end. Monday is a new start for you and for us and for everybody. Where are we going to be on Friday? And I'm excited about all of the possibilities.
Me too.
All right. This has been Married to Movies. I'm John Russell Crane.
I'm Tracy.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow. Thanks to our sponsor, Movie Mode Merch, comfortable graphic tees made by and for awesome filmmakers to wear on set and off. Check them out on Insta at Movie Mode Merch.